Hello, hi, my name is Ty, and Marvel Rivals has a problem, and a lot of people are finally talking about it. And we can all agree that Marvel Rivals has a DPS problem. And I didn't think it was that big of a deal, and then I remembered we haven't gotten a new strategist since Ultron in May, and that's no good. Look, a game like this needs more support heroes, and they keep giving us Vanguards and Duelists. Okay, I'm personally fine with Vanguards because we do need a fair amount of those for this game, but this video is mainly going to be about potential strategists for Marvel Rivals. But before that, I'm going to go over some Vanguards first, just because there are a couple of characters I'm surprised have not gotten into the game as Vanguards yet. I'm going to be talking about 3 of those, starting with... Yeah, it's genuinely shocking to me that Luke Cage isn't in the game as a Vanguard yet. I mean, Luke Cage's thing is literally having skin that's practically... And I don't want to talk about potential kits for these characters, I'm just going to mention some moves I think would be pretty cool for them, and team-up abilities. So, yeah, I mean, I'm going to talk about, some abilities they may have, but it's mainly suggestions, not really, practical kits. As for a general moveset, I mean, he would just punch for his primary fire. That's pretty simple. I mean, why wouldn't he just do that? Ways to defend the team, though, you can get creative with it. What if he had a move where he just tore the ground up and started, charging at people, dodging oncoming fire? Would that not be cool, though? Hear me out. I also think he would have some type of rage move, kind of like, Wolverine or something like that. Something to get the blood pumping. Maybe a life steal ability, I don't know. And for team-up abilities, I have 2 ideas that I think are equally as cool. I'm not going to talk about why or how they form this ability in terms of lore, but I'm just going to be talking about the ideas for team-ups and maybe some abilities, but again, I'm not really a game balancing type of guy. Some of these ideas are not too great, I'll admit, but I did the best I could, okay? And the first ability I got is called Defenders Unite, with Daredevil as an anchor, and Iron Fist and Luke Cage having the abilities. As for what these abilities would be, the best thing I came up with was Luke Cage and Iron Fist getting Daredevil's radar sense, but that might be a little bit too similar to Punisher and Daredevil's team up, so... Or maybe Luke Cage and Iron Fist can get an ability that functions like Daredevil's Sonic Pursuit. I don't know. I'm not a game developer, what do I know? And for a second team up, I'm actually very proud of this one. I like the name and I like what it is, so hopefully you guys like it too. It's called Weapons Closet. And I know that sounds weird without context, but just hear me out, okay? I'm sure some of you are aware of the Weapon Plus program in Marvel. And for those who don't know the Weapon Plus program, you definitely know 2 characters that were a part of said program. That being Weapon 1 and Weapon X, or Captain America and Wolverine. And again, some of you might be thinking, what does this have to do with Luke Cage? Well, I'll tell you, goddammit. He was also in the Weapon Plus program as Weapon 6. So have them team up together. But honestly, I have no idea what this would do gameplay-wise. I'm trying to think of something, but I just can't think of anything that these 3 could potentially do together. So if you have any ideas for this team up, leave them in the comments below. Next Vanguard idea I got is... Now, this concept is pretty out there, and I'm aware of that, but walk with me here for a second, okay? I think the idea of her primary fire is really good. Her being a close-range character who wraps her hair around enemies and siphons their health would be really fun. And having an ability where she wraps her hair around someone and pulls them in, just, let me cook for a second, hold on. Imagine her using her hair as a Doctor Strange-like shield, or even giving teammates Zarya-like bubbles for her hair. I don't know, I think she has a lot of potential for a Vanguard. And for ideas for team-ups, one I think would be really cool is called Royal Remix. And by the name alone, you can probably tell where I'm going with this, but it's just too good. There are plenty of Monarchs in the Rivals cast, so give them a team up and you can just rotate them out every couple of seasons or something. I mean, have someone as an anchor and give them 2 other heroes, and then you can swap them out every other season. For one season, we could do Black Panther and Namor. Another season, we could have Hela and Magic. Another season, we could have Medusa and Angela. I don't know, I think it'd be really cool. And the last Vanguard we're going to talk about for this video, but I'm totally down to make more videos on this topic if people are interested. But the last Vanguard I have on this list today is... Now, I know Armor's a more obscure comic book character, but goddammit, I'm a comic book fan at heart, and more obscure characters deserve to be in Rivals just as much as popular characters. And Armor's a cool character, so if you don't like it, tough. Anyways, Armor's a mutant who has the ability to create a psionic force field all around her body, and I mean, look at her design. She just screams tank. For her primary, she would shoot projectiles from her hands that would be slow and short range, but would do like 50 to 60 damage a shot. And the way she would protect her teammates is a dome shield similar to Winston's Bubble from Overwatch, and another ability I think would be cool is a reversal, where she generates a shield absorbing oncoming attacks and reflects the damage, but she can't move when the ability is active, which I think helps us not be too broken. And for team-ups, she's going to be the first hero that I just add to existing team-ups, because she doesn't have much affiliation with anyone on the Rivals cast except for the X-Men, and I don't want to add an entire X-Men team bonus, because it doesn't really feel as special. So I would replace Hulk with Armor for Fastball Special, and I would add her to Divine Armory, giving her a much less powerful version of Angela's ult that tethers a max of 3 characters with a small area of effect that looks like Divine Judgment Zone. Now, we're at the nitty-gritty. Strategist. The most neglected of the 3 roles in the game, and I kinda understand why. Comic characters aren't usually known to heal others when you think about it, but characters like Rocket and Ultron are not typically known for healing allies, but they made it work. So the characters I'm about to talk about honestly seem obvious, to me at least, that I'm surprised no one else has considered them for the game before. But without further ado, the first character that seems like a no-brainer is Dr. Michael Morbius. Come on down! Okay, that's enough of that. Okay, honestly, the only reason I would say people don't want Morbius in the game is because Jared Leto ruined everything. But Morbius has insane potential for a strategist. First off, he would be the only strategist who is a doctor. Yeah, I looked through the Rivals cast again, and there is no strategist that is a doctor. And there is only one other character who is a doctor. That being, well, Doctor Strange. But he's a Vanguard, so he doesn't count. Anyways, as for how he would play, I imagine he would play somewhat like Moira from Overwatch. Because if you don't know, in earlier adaptations of Morbius, he was depicted as being a vampire-like creature who feeds on energy. So that's what I'm going to imagine he does in Rivals. I imagine he would have a healing meter that would go down after healing an ally, and it slowly rises over time, but it rises faster over time after damaging enemies. And for other abilities, I think a glide for movement is good, and an AoE where he throws down a serum or something that heals allies and damages enemies. And for team-ups, I think a team-up based on the Midnight Suns is long overdue. Throw Morbius, Doctor Strange, Blade, and Magic in there, fuck it. The next strategist I have in mind is, only the smartest character in the Marvel Universe, being... And yes, she is the smartest character in the Marvel Universe. Argue with a wall. It's been stated multiple times. And I hear some people say Reed is smarter because he has more feats than Lunella. That's mainly because he's Reed fucking Richards, and, he was a part of the team that brought Marvel out of bankruptcy. He has a lot more comics than Lunella, and it's also just industry favoritism. Anyways, I imagine for her primary fire, she would use a type of laser gun that fires a beam that heals allies and damages enemies. And I would make her a semi-flying character, because if you don't know, one of her most common gadgets is a propeller backpack, and I think having that as an ability that allows her to fly for like 7 seconds seems fine. And a passive where she uses her spring roller skates for extended height would be cool. And a small detail I would put in there is her using her boxing glove launcher as a short range for her melee. Can you tell I've been thinking about this for a while? And lastly, this is a maybe ability for her because I think her moveset is good enough right now, but you can give or take this ability, is a weak healing turret. But I'm kind of iffy on it, so give or take this ability. And I think a team up where she acts like an anchor, we'll call it Lafayette's Touch, would basically allow the smarter characters like Reed, Tony, and Banner, yes Banner, not the Hulk, give them an ability that just gives them more survival tools to heal them or grant armor, or stuff like that, and that would really help with Banner's survivability. And I know I haven't talked about any other potential characters' ults, but for Lunella, I think an ult where she summons Devil Dinosaur to run in a straight line that destroys terrain and does damage to enemies is like not too much though. A hit from DD wouldn't kill a full health squishy. Sorry, that was a more detailed hero concept, but I love Moon Girl and I want Marvel to bring her back for an ongoing at some point. And also watch the Moon Girl cartoon. It's pretty good. Might make a video on it in the future, who knows. I'm going to cover 2 more strategists for this video, but if you have your own ideas for vanguards and strategists, leave them in the comments below, and maybe I'll do a video about talking about them, because I want to see what the community's cooked up. Anyways, the first of the 2 is going to make a certain superhero very happy, being... If you don't know who Sleepwalker is, there's a very good video by Sir Superhero, one of my idols when it comes to content creation, about Sleepwalker. That is very good. I'll put the link in the description below. And Sir Superhero, if you're watching this, I love you. Anyway, Sleepwalker makes the most sense to me as a strategist, just because his main ability is called Warp Gaze, so that allows him to warp reality as long as he's looking at it. So, for a primary fire, it would be another heal allies, hurt enemies type deal. And Sleepwalker fans know Sleepwalker can only show up when the person he's entangled with, Rick, is sleeping. I imagine to get around this lore-wise was to just have Rick be cursed under eternal sleep, and Sleepwalker's trying to find a way to get out of it. But fuck do I know, I don't do the lore for this. So what would he do? I would give him a Shadow Step type move, kind of like Loki, but on a timer that lasts like 8 seconds. And another ability called Drowsy Field that summons an AoE that slows enemies and heals allies, or boosts their speed, who knows. And I think an ability that buffs allies as long as you're looking at them as a reference to Warp Gaze would be pretty fire. And for team-ups, one where he teams up with Doctor Strange called Secret Defender would be cool, but I wouldn't really know what that would entail, so leave your ideas in the comments. But honestly, I think I would just add him to Lunar Forcer Arcane Order, I'm not gonna lie. And our final character for this video was a toss-up between 2 characters, but I'll save the other one for a potential sequel to this video. So that left me with... this one just makes sense to me. If you don't know who Wiccan is, he's basically the son, not son of Scarlet Witch. It's weird. Anyways, Wiccan is a reality warper, just like Wanda. The way his powers work, he just needs to say what he wants to do, usually multiple times. So I think an ability where he switches between healing and attacking, like Cloak and Dagger, would be fitting. And I also think he should be a flying character or a semi-flying character, just because he's known to fly a lot. For abilities, a one-way portal for him and allies to go through would be pretty cool. And another ability I'm thinking of is maybe a ability where he can phase through breakable terrain would be pretty cool. I don't know. I'm kind of running out of steam for these last few ones, I'm not gonna lie. And lastly, for team ups, one with Wanda, maybe Magneto, and potentially Ultron. That's the WandaVision family tree for us. I think that would be pretty cool. But I think one with Wanda just called like Mother Like Son would be pretty cool. Maybe just have them swap abilities or gain one of the other's abilities as long as they're active together. Like maybe Wanda could get Wiccan's one-way portal, and then Wiccan could get Wanda's reality erasure, who knows. And that does it for my list. Keep in mind, I'm not good at balancing a game because I'm not a game developer. So, these are just concepts. I'd love for people in the comments to, build on these concepts, scrap what they think is unnecessary, open up a dialogue. I like that. And, I just chose these characters because I love comics and I want to get some of the characters that don't get as much shine these days some love, like Armor. Or even Wiccan. I don't even remember the last time I saw him in a comic. And I'll be looking at the comments to see if anyone has any cool ideas they want to build off of. So if I like your comment, congratulations. And that's all for this video. But before you go, I know call to actions are corny, but I don't come from a wealthy family, and I want to make my single mom's life a lot easier. You know, I got fired from my job this past year, and the job market's fucking horrendous, I'll tell you that. So please subscribe. You know, my mom is kind of single. I want to help her out. And like, share, comment, and whatnot. Anyways, thank you for coming. Thank you for staying. Thank you for watching the video. And when you get into a car, please put your seatbelt on, because that beeping is so annoying. Oh my god, make it stop. Okay, bye.